Hi there, my name is Susan, and I am the creator of Robert's Rules Made Simple. And I want to know what the heck is going on with our meetings. I have been working with boards for more than 20 years, and I have to tell you that I am frightened about what I'm seeing in many boardrooms and the level of dysfunction and the lack of civil discourse and really how we are making it okay in this world right now to be so disrespectful in how we're communicating. I have been working with, and over the 20 years that I have owned Robert's Rules Made Simple, I have worked with thousands of boards, teaching them the fundamentals of Robert's Rules of Order, not just how to use Robert's Rules, but how to use Robert's Rules as a tool to foster a healthier, more productive dynamic. And I think more now than ever, this is essential in today's world. We are forgetting how to really have civil discourse. Now, I feel like my work has transitioned from just teaching Robert's Rules of Order to really becoming a board therapist. I work with so many dysfunctional boards where people are not communicating with one another, where people are not respecting one another, and where people are not really learning the rules and they're wanting to go rogue and do it in ways that are not in alignment with an organization's bylaws and constitution. So, what do you do if you are on a dysfunctional board? And that's what I want to talk about in this video. First and foremost, we need to start not looking at people if they're doing it right or wrong. We need to start talking about healthy board dynamics. Can we be healthier in how we're communicating with each other, how we're executing the purpose of this board, and how are we getting business done? Is this healthy for the members of the board? And is this healthy for those that we are serving? And if the answer is no, then we need to do something about it. We need to provide some training. We need to provide some coaching. We need to make sure that we're setting our board members and our meeting chairs up for success. Now, I want you to start by taking an intentional deep breath in with me. Because you may see I'm pretty passionate about this topic. I want to remind people that you're not just having a meeting. You are dealing with people's lives. I have an equation that I invite all my board members to use. Time equals what? Time equals life. Everybody says time equals money, but that's only part of the equation. Time equals life. And so the work that I do with boards is really about giving the board the ability to step back into a healthier dynamic for the sake of everyone's life on the board. Now, if you are a part of an organization, I've worked with city councils and committees, I've worked with state legislatures, I've worked with lieutenant governor's offices, I've worked with school boards, I've worked with universities, and I will tell you that many of the problems that boards deal with are the same. And one of the biggest issues is that you're not providing training related to getting board members to meet and mingle and get to know one another as human beings. It's not about a party. Are you this party or that party? We need to humanize the meeting space, and we need to make sure that we start inviting people back into the meeting space at the person level, at the human level. And all people deserve a safe space, a space for the voices of the majority and the voices of the minority, so that we can put people around the same table and be heard. I was just hired by a state legislator, and I watched their meetings, and I was absolutely shocked at how the members of that legislature were speaking to the members in the public. And I will say that in our current political climate, we're seeing a lot more of that bad meeting behavior where people feel emboldened to throw insults around a meeting table. It has no space. And so beyond humanizing the meeting space, we need to make sure that you're setting your meeting chair up for success. Most meeting chairs never enter into the meetings having any kind of training, formal training around Robert's Rules of Order or training around how to facilitate and deal with difficult board members. Now, I have been working with meeting chairs for the past 2 decades, and I have to say my Chair Meeting with Confidence online training is a powerful program that will set your meeting chairs up for success. We need to start humanizing board members, and we need to start setting up your meeting chairs so that they understand how to deal with difficult meeting behaviors and how to also use Robert's Rules of Order in a confident and competent manner. We need to stop the insanity of poorly run meetings. Your organization, your town, your city, the people you have been elected or appointed to serve depend on your board to be able to make business decisions. So I'd love for you to get to know me, not just as a woman who trains Robert's Rules of Order, but a woman who is extremely passionate about up-leveling the health of your board. If you're going to be doing a retreat, if you're going to be providing some training, if your board needs an intervention, I encourage you to reach out to my website, robertsrulesmadesimple.com, and consider bringing me in as a coach, as a trainer, or even as a speaker at one of your events so that we can start up-leveling the confidence and competence of your board members. Why? Because your time matters. More importantly, because your life matters.